All right, I'm back at this beach. And I'm here for a reason. If you have been following along, I was here about a week ago, maybe almost 2 weeks ago, and I said like, wow, what insane beach erosion here. This place is toast now. I probably won't fish this beach for the rest of the season. And it was real shallow. There was like, the rocks were really well covered up and it was really crappy. So we just had another storm. Another offshore hurricane, Hurricane Ernesto, went by. And you could see in my previous video, the waves were like 8 foot tall. It was huge. So like these rocks, I mean, I was like probably standing on beach that was like 3 feet lower. So this sand is probably just more eroded beach. But if you look at the way those waves are right now, that's all deep again. So this is like completely different now. These rocks, I swear, I gotta look at my old video, but I swear I was standing like, these rocks I could like lean my fishing pole up against. And you know, now it's like I'm almost on top of them. So I want to take a look at this now to see what's going on here, because this is all a nice deep trough here. There's a pile of bait right out here, and that looks deep again too. So I'm going to work this for a little bit and see if this spot came back to life with another storm. And you know, maybe if there's another storm after that later on in the week or next week, it'll mess this up again. But I really thought this was going to be toast for the rest of the year. I wasn't going to come back, and now it looks fishable, so we're going to give it a shot. I have my same thing that I have been doing for all year for the most part, half ounce bucktail. This is a pink Spro, and I have a 2.0 Gamakatsu bait holder dropper loop on 20-pound fluoro. Gotta have the pink and pearl 4-inch swimming mullet, and this is a 6-inch jerk shad. I like the 5s. 5-inch. My bait mule. Somebody was asking about that last time. And I also have, if I find a good pocket of fish, I brought a brand new jerk bait, and there's like a trend, I guess. I don't know if it's a trend or maybe somebody just brought to light the idea that jerk bait works really well for fluke. And there's really, I don't doubt it at all. You know, I've just never used it. I don't freshwater fish, so I don't know like all these little baits that they use for freshwater. So anyway, long story short, I went and bought some jerk baits, and if I find some fish, I'm going to use them and see how I like it. All right, here it goes. Let's give this spot a shot. The water's still very, very warm. The air temperature is freezing cold. It is 54 or 52 degrees with a west wind. It's just a little, I guess, remnants of the whatever that storm did, and I hate it. I caught a couple fish in here. I'm pretty excited about that because I thought this little stretch of beach here was pretty much done for the rest of the year. But there's a little bit of deep water and there's definitely fishable areas and some hard structure down there which might still be covered up by some sand, but it's still not bad. So this will go back on the list of areas that I'll fish this year, you know, for the next month before it closes out for 2024, unless another storm comes through. Definitely not as hot as it was earlier in the year as in terms of quantity of fish. There was a lot of fish in here, but you know, I think I caught 3 or 4, and you know, here's one here nibbling. Oh, small. Yeah, so it'll go back on the list of areas to fish for the next 4 weeks. This fluke season, as I've mentioned already plenty of times, has been tough to say the least. Just there's so many short fluke. It's compared to the previous seasons. I mean, my spring bass season was like appalling. It was really just absolutely terrible. My own theory on that is that there happened to be a storm right as the fish were entering the Raritan Bay, which is like basically a large body of water between New York and New Jersey. And I think it kept a lot of the bait out. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm going with. And it never really made it all the way back into like the sod banks back there where we used to really collect on them. And I was hoping for an awesome fluke season, and it actually started off pretty good. I mean, we were getting keepers very regularly, I would say, like, and I've mentioned it before, right up until around like July 2nd, something about like the first week of July. We were catching a lot of like very nice healthy fluke. Definitely enough to bring home for dinner, you know, like almost every time you went out. And then a storm came through there too and really messed us up. It was a south wind for like 10 or something straight days. I don't know if that's what did it, man, but I like to believe that it's just Mother Nature, and it was storm related both times, and that's what it was. But I don't really know that much about it. I just know that fishing kind of sucks. This year's been tough. Bass season the past 2 years, 2022 and 2023. Holy mackerel, man, lights out. It was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic fishing. Just tremendous. So maybe they'll redeem themselves and we'll have a really awesome fall on the bass. I'm gonna tie on this jerkbait. Hardcore minnow flat suspending 110 millimeter. I don't know, I don't use this stuff. I don't freshwater fish at all, like I said, but I picked this up the other day because I'm like, man, this looks like something I'd like to try out. So I'm gonna tie this on. It's gonna be a first for me. All right, jerk bait tied on. I didn't change the hooks. It's a freshwater bait, but I probably should have, but I didn't. So we're gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna give it a couple tugs to get it down low. I'm just gonna twitch, twitch, pause. Twitch, twitch, pause. The idea behind it is the twitches bring it down low, and since it's suspending, it'll come back up on its own. Oh, I had a bite. I got to figure out when to strike. New to the jerk bait. Oh, right at my feet. Look at that. It's garbage, but it's still a sharp hook. Oh! Right in close. That was cool. Oh, taking drag too. Look at that. Unbelievable, right? That just sold me on jerk baits. He's eating peanuts. That's a little peanut bunker. And my first fish on a jerk bait is a keeper fluke. Well, that's it. That sold me. I am a jerk bait guy now. Man, I gotta thank that guy on YouTube. I always forget his name. I think it's Roger, Cooking and Fishing. He is a big jerkbait guy, and he said in his one video, it's hard to have more fun than you do fishing with jerkbaits. And I was like, yeah, you know, I don't believe anything. So I gotta tell you, that was sweet. So if your name is Roger, Cooking and Fishing on YouTube, thank you, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. A lot of fun. I'm gonna put this guy on ice. I'll measure him first. I don't want to catch a charge. Oh. Yeah, he is 18. That is cool. Sometimes people comment about why I use Van Staal and Saltex on the beach, and it's basically because I went to set my pole down and I buried it in sand, and I like to be able to just rinse it off, because I don't wash my poles down all the time. And I like to kind of beat my stuff up. All right, so first fish on a jerkbait. Man, I'm like ecstatic. And I fished this for a little bit with a gulp, and I got nowhere, so that was awesome. And he spit up a peanut bunker. Right here in the wash. Man, they hit hard on this thing. Definitely got to use my pliers a little more with all those hooks though. Oh boy, this is like a different form of fishing. Really cool. Different kind of hit. They hit like on that slack on the paws, and they seem to want to like run away with it when they get it. Like it's different than the gulp. The gulp, they kind of, I don't know, maybe it's because it hooks them differently. It feels like a different type of fight, but it's really cool. And these hooks kind of freak me out though, having this many, because fluke like to bounce all around, man. That's with anything else, you just got to get used to it, I guess. It's 7:19. I only have 10 more minutes left to fish before I gotta go to work, but I just fished this whole area with a jerk shad and gulp, and I did catch some, but nothing like of size. And I just want to see if the jerk bait changes things, because when that fish spit up the peanut bunker, I was like, huh, okay, you know, if what I'm usually doing with my gulp, especially the swimming mullet, is trying to imitate sand fleas. But if they're on peanuts, then the sand flea is out. I mean, not that they're not on sand fleas, the sand fleas are just loaded up in the surf. But if they're keyed in on those peanuts, which I don't even see in the surf right now, then that would explain why the jerk bait was so successful. But really, I mean, I've only caught a couple fish on it so far, but it almost feels like a different species. It's like a completely different way of fishing, and they hit different, and it's really cool. Not a bad fish. I ended up catching one more, a nice one too. Probably 16 or so, but better than those super small ones. My GoPro battery obviously died, so that's gonna be it for me. I have work today, I gotta go. Thanks for watching so much. Man, I got a lot of attention. My last video, I forget what it was. Oh, I was fishing those big waves during the hurricane. Appreciate everybody watching. I'm gonna start working this jerkbait more, and hopefully the end of the season is going to finish up really strong with a larger class of fish after this storm came through. And man, I'm excited for it.